Alright, buckle the fuck up, because we're about to tear into Charlotte Flair, WWE's resident plastic surgery pinata, like a pack of rabid wolves on a fresh carcass. This chick's face has been under the knife more times than a Thanksgiving turkey, and every time she struts back into the ring, it's like, who the hell is this broad now? Seriously, Charlotte, pick a fucking face and stick with it already. You've got more looks than a schizophrenic chameleon, and not a single one even screams nature girl anymore. That crap's long gone, buried under a landfill of Botox, fillers, and who the fuck knows what else Dr. Frankenstein has shoved into her mug. It's a revolving door of disasters, and the WWE Universe is just stuck watching, struggling to pick their mouths up off the floor, and wondering what fresh monstrosity she unveil next. One comeback she's got a snout like a bloodhound, the next she's rocking cheekbones that could slice through steel. Consistency's clearly not her thing. Her mug has been rearranged more times than Elon Musk's Lego set on a ketamine-fueled bender. Her nose has been whittled down more times than a stick at a whittling contest. It used to look like it could sniff out a dime bag in a dumpster, but now it's so pinched she probably wheezes like a busted accordion. Then there's those lips. Jesus H. Christ, what has that woman done with her lips? They're so pumped up with filler they look like inner tubes ready to pop. One more shot and she's floating off like a godforsaken Macy's parade float. Her cheekbones are so jacked with crap, her face looks like it's staging a prison break from her head. She's turning into some kind of extraterrestrial freak show. I'm almost expecting her to start chirping in binary next time she cuts a promo. Her comebacks, fuck me, they're not just part of a circus, they're the entire circus, because every single one of her returns has felt like a debut. If it weren't for her identifiable entrance theme, nobody would know who the hell just walked out. These constant face swaps aren't a sideshow, they're a full-on identity crisis that leaves fans squinting like they're decoding a goddamn riddle. Like, is that Charlotte? Shit, last time she returned, she had a chin. Now she's got cheekbones sharper than a switchblade, and I ain't talking about Jay White. Normally, whenever a wrestler makes their return, you're supposed to get hyped and allow your mind to wonder how will they fit within the current landscape of their division. But Charlotte doesn't let us do that, because instead, we're playing a game of Guess Who with her latest surgical masterpiece. It's damn near impossible to take her seriously as a wrestler when she looks like she's auditioning for a sci-fi flick. Attack of the ever-changing face. You know what's so ironic about her queen bullshit? She prances around like royalty, but let's get real. Queens don't need to reinvent their faces every fiscal quarter. True royalty owns their look, scars and all, and commands respect through sheer goddamn presence. But Charlotte, on the other hand, is out here thinking a smaller forehead, perkier nose, and a fuller set of lips is gonna cement her throne. Spoiler alert, it just makes her look like a try-hard chasing a crown that's slipping further away with every stitch. You're not elevating shit, you're turning yourself into a walking punchline, a caricature of what a champ should be. The queen shtick might have worked if you'd stuck to wrestling instead of treating your face like a goddamn etch-a-sketch. Keep this up, and by 2030, you'll roll into WrestleMania looking like a Pixar reject. Big eyes, tiny nose, and a chin so sharp it'll rival Tessa Blanchard and take out the tribal chief Big Poochie in one swing. So here's the brutal truth, Charlotte. You've got the Flair name, which is wrestling gold most people would kill for, and yet you're squandering it on this superficial crap. Ric Flair was a legend for his in-ring career, not for how many times he hit the surgeon's table. Sure, his face may be a roadmap of bad decisions, but at least it's his. But hey, it's pretty funny how blading is one of a handful of pastimes you and your father have in common. It's just the method of application that's different, but I digress. You, on the other hand, are erasing any trace of that legacy with every nip and tuck, turning yourself into a Madame Tussauds exhibit instead of a wrestler. It's like you're trying to outdo your dad's reputation for doing dumb shit, but all you're doing is proving you'd rather be a Real Housewives reject than a wrestling legend. Here's a pro tip. Consider spending less time in the operating room and more time figuring out how to make us give a shit about you without relying on an extra championship title reign as a crutch. Or us requiring a goddamn previously on Charlotte's face recap every time you grace our screens. You have the talent. Use it. Otherwise, you're just gonna be the chick who couldn't decide what she wanted to look like, and that's a tragedy worse than any botched surgery. At least your failed marriages and frequent trips to the surgeon's table would make great content and a cautionary tale for Dark Side of the Ring. At least you have that going for you. Holy shit, what a mess. Rah-rah shit post signing off. Peace the fuck out, I guess. Goddamn, what a shoot. See, Tiff, that's how you cut a